Okay guys, so the other day I did go see a man about some variegated elephant ears via Facebook Marketplace. Gotta love that Facebook, guys. And I was able to do a trade, a plant swap. And wouldn't you know, as luck would have it, the kind gentleman was actually in the market for getting some pink princesses, of which you guys know that I do have, so he was willing to trade. Get this, guys. 3 gallons of variegated elephant ears. Here they are, guys, right here. Bam, right there. Do you guys see those beautiful variegated elephant ears right here? And I cannot even believe that I got all of these 5 3-gallon pots of them right off of Facebook Marketplace at such an incredible deal, because it was for a plant that I already had. So no loss to me, but quite an incredible gain. And these elephant ears right here are known specifically as the Alocasia ODORA, the variegated variety, Albo Variegata, as you guys can see right here. And they are so gorgeous. They are even more gorgeous than what I imagined them to be. The variegations on here, I have to tell you, are so incredible. Some of the most beautiful variegations that I have ever seen. And I mean, you are just getting a palette full of different types of variegation. And every leaf is different, guys. They're like snowflakes here. You have your solid splotching, and then you have that camouflage-like effect. Look at that. Look at the dimension of variegations right here. So incredible. Look at the solid whites throughout. And here is one. Look at that. It has that minty green look to it. Here's yet another one. Take a look at this one right here. Oh my gosh, it has all of the varieties right here of variegation, I gotta tell you. So you're seeing some solidness of that white right there. So gorgeous. And then you're also seeing a lot of speckling and splotches. Then you're going into this area right here, more of that camouflage right there. Look at that. And then also you're noticing some layering that's going on right here as well, giving that silvery type of greenish effect right there. And then if we take a look right here, look at that minty green with those little speckling of green with that white backdrop. Just so gorgeous. What a combination of variegation in this leaf. It is so unbelievably gorgeous. I am falling so head over heels in love. And I do want to highlight the fact that it has such a beautiful and wonderful broad-faced shape right here. A very rounded heart shape, as you are seeing. Perfect heart right there. And I do love the fact that the face of this is so broad, and it provides a wonderful canvas for the variegation to really shine through. I mean, it is so gorgeous. Love the shape on these. Love the texture. It is somewhat semi-matted, semi-glossy. It's not over glossy, but yet it does have that very nice sheen or shine to it as well. Definitely just so many beautiful things going on with this Alocasia. I mean, it gets 2 green thumbs up from me, guys. If you don't have any of these Alocasias and you do want to give it a try, I would highly recommend them, especially if you are a lover of variegated plants. This is definitely going to tickle your fancy. And what I do love is the fact that if we take a look at the base, there are also a whole lot of babies that are coming up on some of these. So we're gonna have a lot of variegated Alocasias, I assure you. You know, I am the propagation queen, so I'm gonna have a ton of these because these are also pretty fast growing Alocasias. And as you guys know, with Alocasias, all of their babies will come from the base and they'll just grow and grow, and before you know it, you'll have such a big mass or clump of them. Okay, so let's just go ahead and talk a little bit about variegations and how they actually work within variegated plants. When there is a lack of pigmentation, what they're actually talking about is the chlorophyll within the plant, which is the green pigmentation. The green pigmentation is actually the one that is responsible for creating glucose or energy for the plant. So therefore, when it doesn't have that green pigmentation or that chlorophyll, and you have that white, the plant does not have its full potential, or does not have the potential at all, where the plant can derive its energy from the sun. If you have fully variegated plants, or plants that have a lot of variegation, a lot of that white, it means that plant is actually a weaker plant. And I said all of that to say this, guys. If we take a look at these little plantlets, these little babies that are growing up, as you can see, you are noticing a whole lot of white in there. Even this one, look, that's a full white leaf. And you're not noticing a whole lot of green at all. So of course you guys know that this plant right here is going to be inadequate for producing the right amount of energy for this plant, unfortunately. So in order for us to propagate this, guys, we would actually have to wait and see if they would grow more green leaves eventually, fingers crossed, so that we can have more of a well-balanced plant that would be more adequate to produce the energy for the plant so that it can survive. So if we find that this plant right here does not grow any more green leaves and majority is white, the best thing to do for this guy is to leave it attached to mama and hope that mama can feed it with its energy. And that's the best bet for this. So that's just a word of advice and a little tip if you do get a whole lot of white little plantlets. Okay, guys? These Alocasia are actually the dwarf variety. So this is not going to get any bigger than 3 feet tall. It's still pretty compact in comparison to your larger varieties that can grow 5 feet and up, guys. They can get pretty humunga dunga wunga. Majority of your elephant ears actually like a good amount of moisture, humidity, and also watering. Now, it is stated with these plants right here, they should at least have 60% humidity, and also it is stated that they do like to stay constantly moist. So what we're talking about when we say constantly moist or an even amount of moisture, that does not mean that we should leave this in soppy, wet media, because as you guys know, with almost any plant, if you leave them in soppy, wet media, it does run a high risk of actually getting root and also bulb rotting. So we don't want that with these beautiful guys, right? So an even amount of watering. Now, what is said as a golden rule of thumb is that you can actually have the top surface go dry about 2 inches before you actually would water the plant again. So yes, moisture loving plant right here, you definitely have to make sure it does stay moist, and you don't want a whole lot of dry time in between, as it can cause issues with the plant as well. It should also be noted that with the elephant ear varieties, they are considered as tropical growing plants, so they can be very sensitive to colder weather. So during the winter time, guys, just for safety precautions, bring these beauties indoors. Now, if you do leave these outdoors in your landscape and it doesn't get to freezing temperature, you do have a chance that these will bounce back during the springtime because they are bulb or rhizome type of plants. These beautiful leaves right here will die back again, very sensitive, but the bulbs are much hardier, so you do have a chance that they will spring back up during the warmer weather. Now, as far as lighting goes with these guys, they do appreciate bright indirect sunlight, but can also tolerate medium light as well. And the wonderful thing about these variegated beauties right here is that you can plant them directly into your landscape, or you can keep them potted up and beautifully displayed. And to keep these Alocasia odoras in tip-top prime condition, it is recommended that you go ahead and fertilize this with a well-balanced soluble soluble fertilizer, and you would do that at half strength, fertilizing it about once every 2 weeks. Now you can also opt to use a slow release fertilizer, and in that case you would fertilize once every 3 to perhaps 6 months, just depending on the directions of the slow release fertilizer. And I gotta tell you guys, these plants right here are just so dramatic, very eye-popping right there. Such attention getters, whether you plant them up in your landscape or you keep them beautifully displayed in pots. I mean, these are really going to catch your attention right here. And these are fairly inexpensive plants as well for the type of showcasing that you're going to get. So you do get quite a bang for your money. I'm so happy that I was able to get these variegated beauties right here, and is one of my most awesome finds. Now, if you guys have some of these variegated beauties, please be sure to let me know below how you're growing yours. I thank you guys so much for tuning into yet another episode of my orchid and also my plant adventures. And with that being said, you guys already know that I truly do love and appreciate you guys all. And with that being said, I will see you guys later on my next adventure. Bye bye, guys. Mwah.